Hey guys, how you doing? It's Paul here again. Got something interesting in the shop today, but it's not going to stay in the shop very long. It's going to be gigging, hopefully. It's an ELF, if you've not seen one before. It's Trace Elliott's new, really tiny micro, I suppose they could call it, amplifier. Very small. I'll give you a close-up look at that a bit later. But hopefully you're going to stick with me for this exciting project, because what I want to do is build a cab for this. I want to build a new cabinet for it, but it's got to be very specific to my requirements, otherwise I could probably just buy one anyway. So I've got quite a few things that I want it to do, and some very specific things. First of all, I want it to be light. Now the little 1x10 that you can buy to go with it is £16, so I want it to be less than that. I want it to incorporate a seat. That's a bit strange, it may seem, but this is primarily going to be used for like either small gigs or rehearsals, and possibly like jazz gigs in a small club or something like that, where space is often at a premium, and if you can sit down on it, it could be one of those handy things. And at rehearsal, you know, up and down, it'd be quite handy to sit on it. I also want it to incorporate a bass stand, so I'm thinking about minimal setup here. I'm thinking bass and all cables and stuff in a gig bag, and a cabinet, and that's it, one trip. So I want everything with me. So if I'm taking a music stand, or if I'm taking a bass stand for my bass, all these extras are going to add up. So if I can incorporate a stand with it, it's going to be very helpful. Also, I want a bracket to put the ELF on, and I want the ELF mounted so that the control knobs are upright. So if you are at the gig and you want to adjust it, you can go and reach down and see what you're doing without having to go round to the front or anything like that. So it's got to somehow go on there on the side or something like that. It's got to be able to handle about 200 watts because the ELF produces 200 watts at 4 ohms. I'm not going to use the cabinet with any other cabs. I'm not going to use it as an extension cabinet or anything like that. So it doesn't need to be 8 ohms. So I can go right down to 4 ohms, so make the maximum use of the ELF. So I'm going to put a speaker in that's, you know, can handle that. I want it to have a side handle, because it'd be easier getting in and out of the car and things like that, because it won't be as long if you hold it on the side. And it's going to have wheels on it. It's going to be like a trolley. It's going to be handy in a couple of ways. I've got one of these anyway. It came with my TC Electronic. It's one of these handles, like suitcase things with wheels. So if I can incorporate that, it can also be a trolley, but that could have something to do with holding the bass and making a stand for the bass somehow. So I'll incorporate that, and I want it to look good. It mustn't look like a DIY project. It's got to look like it was made properly. So I'm going to try and make it properly. So any comments will be valuable. So let's do a little picture and see if that will help get some ideas going. So my thoughts are this: let's go for a 1x10, but it will look a bit more like a 2x10 and upright. So if you imagine 2x10, okay, but we're going to go with just one driver in it. So again, it's to cut down on weight. So I'll look at the parameters and things like that and build in some porting and things like that, or it may be ported at the top, I don't know yet. So it'll be something like that. Side handle, don't know if it'll be recessed yet. Any thoughts? You know, give me some ideas. And then that extendable handle at the back, and some sort of padded seat on it or something like that. So that's a very rough sketch, and it might not get even any more detailed than that. I'll do the calculations. I've only built one cabinet before, and it did sound really good. So I did look into all the teal and small parameters and things like that. I'm no expert, I don't fully understand it, but I know enough to get by on this. So if you've got any suggestions, add them in the comments, because that would be really handy. So I'm going to build it as lightweight as possible. Not sure on the material. Normally use 18mm. Poplar ply is lighter than the birch ply, but it's harder to get hold of, more expensive. I'm thinking perhaps even go down to 15mm. Oh no, you might say. Well, if it's completely wrong, tell me before I build it, please. I might do it, I don't know yet. I don't know if it will save much. It might save a bit of weight, but if we can get that weight down, it'll be really good. So we're going to have porting in it, we're going to have side handles, we're going to have the top handle there, we're going to have a seat, somewhere to put the ELF sticking out somehow, don't know, on the side. When it all starts coming together, we'll do it. So will you stick with me, and will you, if you want to, please subscribe, because then you'll get the updates. And this build will be a series of videos, and we will see how it progresses. At some point, in the very near future, I'll do a video showing the ELF in quite a bit of detail, because I haven't seen one on YouTube at the moment that's got all the detail in it. So I'll do that as well, so we can do that. Okay, let's get going then. See you later.